I can't do it with my right eyebrow. Do my left, but
I don't know.
I don't
Stay
know
away
either.
from both of them.
I don't know either. What is going on, everyone? Happy?
Two caterpillars up there, bro.
Dude.
One is paralyzed. The other one is
Did I tell you
trying
that
to turn
story?
into a butterfly.
Dude, all right. So in high school, all right, and it's funny that you brought that up because one of my, like the oldest friend I have is here in studio hanging out with us. I used to get made fun of in high school for my eyebrows all the time. They used to say it looks like two caterpillars walking on my face. True story. I was very deeply hurt by those statements. Anyways, what is going on, everyone? Happy Hump Day, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts today. And today, like every day, we are coming at you live from our studio here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays, live shows. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer. Nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please, as always, do your own research. Speaking of content, big news for Bitcoin. Almost $1 billion leaves Coinbase by institutions. Does this mean a big price move is coming to the upside? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Quant. We'll talk about Cardano. Is now a good time to buy? And we'll talk about much, much more. And the UK is in trouble. Not new news, but we'll talk about that. But before we can talk about that, I have to introduce you to your other co-host, Big Robles.
Hola!
What are you doing down there?
Just looking at my laptop.
Interesting.
It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and simple way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do the deep dives. We do crypto street interviews, which we have a new episode coming out soon. Stay tuned. And we also film on location, but particularly at conventions, hosted here in Las Vegas, which we have some in the works on this weekend. Litecoin convention, Coin Agenda. I'm not sure if we're going to make that one or not, but
Money 2020's here.
yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Packed weekend.
That's right. And how do you know these videos are coming out, David? Any idea?
You know, there's a couple ideas. One, you can text us. But a lot of you don't have our numbers, so I would recommend the notification bell.
Text David. But yes, notification bell.
Yeah, because Robin doesn't reply to text.
I reply to ones I choose to reply to.
Wow. There you go. There's your answer.
That's right. Also, you can also choose to like this video. But stop playing before I throw this like sign over the over the internet.
Wake you up.
But guys, do us a favor. Yesterday we did not hit 100 viewers in the chat. Today, I would like to hit 100 viewers. And you know what? Every like gets us one bit closer to getting to that milestone. Now, excited. And I'm also excited to get into the roll call. All right. So first in the chat today, we got Crit Cats. Congratulations, Crit Cats. Liquidated Short, Stereo 2, Robert Salazar, Tox, Crypto Yogurt. We got Liquidated Short, Strictly Sports, Crypto Billionaire, Marky Mark, Why You Loud Gang, Big Chili Willie, Sean Behringer. Then we got Crypto Billy up in here, Crypto 420, Yazin Breakfast, K Factor, and then Moby Sage and Hit or Miss. Who else we got in here? Destroyer, Vegas Freeballer, and then we got Crawler. And then I saw we got somebody new in here. Who was it? We got BRMC. And then who was the new person? I saw somebody new in here. There they go. Sir Babe is in here. And damn it. I saw somebody new in here. Somebody new in here.
No.
Oh, there he is. Bro Rabbit. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Who?
Bo Rabbit. Bo Rabbit.
Oh, Rabbit.
Yeah, that's right. So, there you go.
E-Rabbit?
B Rabbit.
Wasn't
B-Rabbit
that
from the Boo? The
8 Mile. No, who was his from 8 Mile? Just Rabbit or was it B Rabbit?
Yeah, it was it
B Rabbit?
I thought it was Rabbit.
It was B Rabbit.
The B Rabbit?
I think so. Anyways, you know, I have something funny to talk about. Well, I thought this was fake news.
Not fake.
But then I did some more research and I realized it wasn't fake news and I could not believe my eyes. JP Morgan, the largest bank in the United States of America, hires ex-Celsius executive as the head of crypto regulatory policy. Former Celsius Network executive Aaron Iovine has joined JP Morgan Chase as Executive Director of Digital Assets Regulatory Policy. This guy, Aaron, was the former head of policy and regulatory relations for the now defunct crypto lender Celsius, a position he held for 8 months until leaving in September, so a month ago. What the hell is going on?
What was his position again?
So at Celsius, he was the head of policy and regulatory relations.
So he spearheaded the policy.
And regulatory relations.
Which policy do you think he regulated? The
Ponzi
one where you keep promoting and telling people to use your platform? And then do you think he also implemented the policy to shut down all trading and freeze all assets for all users? That's a good policy, man.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You know what, man?
I don't get it.
Here's the thing. JP Morgan Chase has been up to these games for well over 100 years. They are masters taking advantage of the little guy, using all the laws at your disposal to get financial gains. And they in a similar kind of like Star Wars kind of way, they were like, oh, this young Padawan, he's learning. He's learning how to con people and use the system to their advantage to take people's money. We need to bring him on board, teach him the right way of doing things, right?
Which is the same thing, but in the traditional world.
Yeah. They were like, man, your resume is stacked. How many people did you defraud? How much money
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah.
What movie was that from? Wolf of Wall? No. It was Matthew McConaughey, right?
Yeah. It's Wolf of Wall Street.
That was Wolf of Wall Street? Okay, there you go. Yeah, that was a good one. Anyways, just some funny piece of news I figured I'd share with you guys. All right. Robin.
All right. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So Bitcoin coming in at $19,152 and 72 cents. So kind of the same zone we've been at all week. You know what? It's getting pretty damn boring looking at this Bitcoin chart. It's since I think it was August 26th. We've been in the same damn spot, bro. Yeah. So from here, with the exception of a couple little moves above and below 20K, it has been since mid-August. This is summertime. We are now approaching the holiday season, which David got mad at me for singing holiday songs this morning. And
you were singing the weird, like, what? That wasn't even a holiday song.
I'm a very cheerful person. You know what? I like Christmas. One of my favorite holidays. Santa's my homie. And so with that said, we've been here for quite some time. Now, we all are aware of what happens when you trade sideways and you consolidate for long periods of time. It's like pulling back a rubber band. The farther you pull it back, when you finally get a breakout to either direction, usually it is a very big volatile move. So anyways, taking a look at our thumbnail today was when bottom. So we're gonna get my opinion and David's opinion on if the bottom is in, what the likelihood that it was in. If this wasn't the bottom, where do you expect the bottom to come in at? Or the bottom has already been in. What's the likely play out here in the near future? Ethereum under 1,300. As we discussed yesterday, not a lot of support between, it was like 1,250 and so right here we bounced off of, what was it, 1,200, 1,213. So not a lot of support between here and $1,000. So if we see a $18,000 Bitcoin, how far down will Ethereum drop? That's what I'm curious about. Now Bitcoin, I don't know, man. I'm thinking, I was talking to you yesterday about this, man. I think there's a big move coming in Bitcoin. Taking a look at the crypto bubbles on the week here, you got Casper up 28%, and Huobi Global token as well. On the daily, Casper did pull back a little bit. And then also Quant pulled back. I also I was watching Crypto Lifer today. And I threw the man a super chat. I was like, "Yeah, what's up with Casper? We're gonna talk about Casper today." And he was saying that on the charts, it looks like it's ready for a rally. It was, I think there was a little bearish flag going on there. Anyways, our boy Crypto Lifer says he's waiting for a pullback. So if you're looking to get into, oh dang, my battery is running low. Look at that. So if you're looking to get into Casper, probably eyeing a lower position. And then we also have the Crypto Fear and Greed Index.
You think we'll ever go into 20?
Ever?
Well, I mean, okay. That question. You think, what are the odds of going under 20 in the next, let's just say, 2 weeks?
2 weeks? Well, you know what? If what I was saying with the big move to come, if we lose support on that 19K and say we get down to the $17,000 Bitcoin, we get that big move, or 16,000, or maybe even 15,000, at that point, anything's on the table. And that includes altcoins bottoming out. That includes the Fear and Greed Index coming in at like 17, 15. And, historically, it's always been a good time to buy. We've been in this 20, ever since it came down at mid-August, we've been in this 20 range here. And, I think this is just trading sideways in the same way that Bitcoin is. And then taking a look at the stock market, we did get a pullback. We did have 2 green days back-to-back in traditional markets. So to be expected, we had a pullback in Wall Street, NASDAQ particularly down 1.4%. We do have the jobs numbers coming out tomorrow, like your unemployment. So we're expecting to see what happens with the markets with that. And anyways, that's all I got, bro.
Well, sticking to traditional market, I'm going to swap over to my laptop here. UK inflation moves back up to 40-year highs. It's a source from CNBC. The Consumer Price Index, also known as CPI, rose 10.1% in the month of September. Increasing food, transport, and energy prices were the biggest contributing factors. And on those notes, the numbers: food was up 14.6% year over year. Transportation was up 10.9% compared to last year, while the price of furniture and household goods rose to 10.8%. Outside of the obvious, what's another catalyst as to why the inflation is so high? We talk about this all the time. Now, this is a map of UK imports. So what they purchase from other countries and bring it into their country. So what do we talk about all the time with the Dixie, right? The DXY, as the dollar grows stronger, it weakens the other currencies in the world. And essentially, for the US, it's great for imports because it's cheaper. You need less dollars to buy goods from other countries. Well, the opposite is true for the UK. Their imports from the US now get more expensive because their pound is shrinking in value as the dollars grows in strength. So now they have to spend more British pounds to get the same amount of goods from the US that they were a year ago. And you can see on this map here, US is number 1 for imports for the UK.
We are number 1.
Well, number 1. 12.7%, close to 90 billion euros. Is that euro or pound?
That's pound.
Pound.
They don't use euros.
Right.
They had the,
wasn't sure if it was denominated. Wasn't sure if it was denominated in euros.
Brexit.
But anyways,
Brexit.
90 billion pounds imported from the US. So when we talk about, everyone's like, oh, the dollar's getting stronger. Yay. Spend less money to travel abroad. Yay, this. But guys, these have implications.
So when you're a major developed nation, a absolute top 10 player in the global scene, and you're an island nation, you are 100% dependent on imports. They ain't raising no cattle in England. What do they got? Some sheep? Sheepdog? They're not growing any, they're not growing all of their agriculture. So they have a massive population they need to feed. They have a massive infrastructure with the need of energy and oil to fuel their economy. And they're reliant on foreign nations. And the thing is goods, particularly in Europe, they're all priced in dollars. You need to buy a barrel of oil, you buy it in dollars. If your currency goes down, dollar goes up, all of a sudden, you can buy less oil with your pounds. You can buy less wheat with pounds. You can buy, every single thing that is in the factory that you use, all of the engineering parts, those come from overseas as well. And so you're seeing the effects a little bit hitting a little harder in an island nation that's developed like England. So quick shout out. We got a couple new people in the chat. We got Steph Left, Carrie Chaos, and Leonel.
Who?
Leroy.
Leroy.
I don't know. Leroy in 49. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. So anyways, man, it's
look at this, dude. This is some crazy stuff, man. So this is from this is on Twitter, Disclose TV. 125 years after it was founded, German construction company Wolfhach und in den Buschenbahn goes insolvent. 130 years after the founding of the German confectionery manufacturer Bodega goes insolvent. 156-year-old German automotive supplier goes insolvent. 170-year-old German soap maker Kappas goes insolvent. All of these were reported says 24 hours, but now it's 48 hours. We talked about this when the energy prices were going up. It wasn't just people heating their homes or keeping the lights on. The bigger thing was the businesses, these small mom and pop shops. I mean, if you're already running on razor thin margins and you now have to 10x the amount of money you spend on energy, I mean, and we're kind of in a recession and your country's currency value is going down and everything becomes more expensive on top of energy. Like, these are companies that have stood the test of time, wars, depressions, pandemics, and they couldn't survive, man. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's
that's a lot of history.
How much
there.
German soap are you buying? I'm just I feel like you're a guy that just takes all the hand-me-down soaps from like the hotels, like the free ones.
Down soaps.
Like you got a hook up here in Vegas. You're like, yo, let me get them free soaps.
Oh.
You don't pocket the soaps at the hotels?
No, I don't. I mean, I may have once.
Oh, there it is. I knew it.
Bro, if you don't take at least one soap or shampoo or conditioner from the hotels, what the hell is wrong with you?
What about those people that like steal the lamp?
Yeah. Man. All right. You got anything else?
And then no, that's all I got.
All right. I channeled my inner crypto lifer today. You can call me Davey Cup and Handles. Lifer always talks about cup and handles, but I found a decent cup and handle on the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. Now, these are bullish patterns. They do typically break to the upside. The way we measure the move to the upside is we take the width or the length of this cup. We're looking at a 3% move. If we break out from, say we just break out from somewhere around right here, 3% move would put us right around 20K, almost 20K flat, 19.8. On top of that, you have massive outflows from exchanges. So this is going all the way back to April of this year, and you can see the highest day we've had as far as net flow since we saw this massive withdrawal on June 17th, so a few months ago. We do have some news regarding close to $1 billion worth of Bitcoin leaving Coinbase, and we'll talk about that more here in a second. So this is Bitcoin, number of addresses or balances over 10,000 Bitcoin. So these are the super whales. We are at levels we have not seen since 2020. In the end of 2020, December 23rd, 2020. So just in a matter of a day, we saw it move from 101 wallets that have at least 10,000 Bitcoin to 104, which might not seem like a lot, but It's a lot compared to what we're looking at. So, and then as far as Quant,
Also on Bitcoin as well, just to expand on some of the narrative there, we have $500 million worth of Bitcoin options expire on Friday. So could the end of the week spell a giant move for crypto? Perhaps. And then also taking a look at this chart, this is as we see, we got a descending triangle pattern similar to one that we saw in 2018, which at that time was where we basically hit the bottom there. So very similar pattern here in those two. So there you go.
is that a 3-day time frame?
You have 3-day candles on the right, 3-day candles on the left.
Okay, interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but it lines up. A lot of times you'll see these charts and you'll see that they're looking, one chart will be like a 3-month, it'll be like a 3-month time horizon. The other one will be like a year and a half. You're like, you're stretching this. Like, you know what I mean? So this one is about a 6-month window. This one goes from February to November here. This one goes from June to November. So pretty comparable. A little longer time horizon here, but nothing too out of the ordinary. So yeah, I mean, we discussed this yesterday that a big move is likely to come, and as you get to the end of these triangles, you tend to have a big breakout. So that's kind of what we were talking about. What do you think this is us testing the bottom? We're going to bounce out of this for the upside, David, or do you? I know we were kind of discussing that.
I don't know. I mean, I've been in the camp that the bottom's in, right?
I like the idea of, hey, it's a percentage game, right? Because what is the percentage or the percent likelihood that we met the bottom? Because here's the thing. Let's just say no news happens and we go into midterms. I could see us rallying out and getting up into 25, 30K on the Bitcoin. Now, I think we are one shocking news article away from a giant dump, bro. And I ain't talking about eating too much barbecue at night. I'm talking about giant dump in Bitcoin's price. And I mean, what say you? So you're kind of in the camp that we hit bottom?
Yeah, but to me, there's just a lot of uncertainty. Like if you swap over here, this is the weekly chart for Bitcoin, right? I mean, that's a falling wedge, and falling wedges typically break to the upside. But I feel like anyone that says they know for sure it's going to bottom here, that's BS.
But you see, even if you were to take that lower trend line and you were to go back to the lower touch points, then instead of a falling wedge, you got a descending triangle, which tends to bring it to the upside. If you're to draw it from those lows there,
descending triangles break down.
Now, going into descending triangle, going in, making lows, basically coming down into a descending
lower
triangle.
Highs and a stable bottom, descending triangle, those break to the downside. Ascending triangles break to the upside.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that with your pattern you got there, that is likely to break to the upside. Correct. But if you were to draw the trend line there, that way, that tends to break to the upside. So that's where we're kind of in this, which direction is it going to go?
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I feel like we're one big news article or one big story away. Let's just say there was a giant hack or something happened with Ethereum. Or let's just say that one of the big miners filed for bankruptcy. Or let's say that, let's say Portugal, my boys, they offer crypto as a, they become more crypto friendly. Maybe
they actually did the opposite. They're bringing taxes.
Well, they're bringing in taxes. They have an interesting pitch to Madeira, which is islands of Portugal. Yeah, they're trying to get them to use Bitcoin as a currency there, be a little bit more abrasive there. So that's interesting. Anyways, I'm telling you, I feel like everybody, because we have this anticipation for a big move, everyone's waiting for that giant story to drop. And when it does, boom, price action. Now, maybe it's the Fed coming in with a 0.25% rate hike, shocking the markets. Or maybe it's the Fed, it's the Fed putting in a 1%.
That's why I said anyone that says they know is BSing. We can all make educated guesses, look at charts, look at on-chain statistics, but at the end of the day, we have never seen Bitcoin and crypto go through a macro environment like we're seeing right now. We just haven't seen it. Through the entire life of Bitcoin and crypto, you've had quantitative easing, money printing, and low interest rates and low inflation. And we're in a spot now, take crypto out of it. We're in an economic spot now across the world where we haven't seen for decades, right? High inflation, low unemployment, and like on top of that, all these wars and talk of this, and North Korea's testing nuclear weapons, and Iran.
Okay, so if I gave you $10,000 and I was like, David, put in a short or a long position on Bitcoin 1 week window. So, what are you going, long or short?
Probably long.
You're gonna go long?
Yeah. I think the fact that Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'd put in a short. But I 100% side with your reasoning and kind of why you got to that position. And so for me it's a percentage game. I think it's like a 70% chance we go lower. But at the same time, I'm on probably a 30% camp that was it.
I mean, and then the weird thing too was, we were on air when this happened. When the CPI numbers came out, it came in 0.1 higher than they expected. The market's like rallied by like 2-3%. And we're all sitting here like, what the hell is going on? And so like we just been seeing things we haven't seen. Things people aren't used to seeing. So we can go back and look at the 2017, 2018 bear market, how price reacted when this was like this or when this analytics said this. But at the end of the day, like overall macro.
Do you think now is a good time to DCA or kind of get into the market? Like, say, how like
the crypto market or the stock market?
Crypto market.
I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. If you try to time the bottom, let's just say 17.5 is not
Let's say your uncle pulls up. Your uncle's like, hey, I want to buy some Bitcoin. Now a good time? What do you tell him?
Depends. Are you gonna leave it in there?
He's got one buy. He's like, yo, I got a settlement. I got 20 grand. I want to buy a Bitcoin.
You're gonna leave it in there for at least 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Now's a good time. I want to know.
Even if the bottom's not in, how far are we?
Yeah.
Let's say we go to 15K, 12K. You really want to try to time the bottom from 19,000. Your percentage returns are going to be the same. Whether you buy at 10K, 20K, 50K, your percentage returns are going to be the same. Now I get it. You'll have more tokens and you get a better entry price, but no one is going to be able to perfectly time the bottom. That's all I'm saying.
We got Maccabi up in here. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
What's up, Maccabi? So, and then the last thing you want is for something bullish to happen, like a spot ETF gets approved or another nation adopts it because their currency is crumbling. You never know, but do you really want to miss on something like that? So,
right.
I don't know. What else did I? Oh, Quant. I want to take a look at Quant. So I left the fib levels I drew yesterday. I left them on here, and you can see we wicked down. So this is a 4-hour chart on Quant. We wicked down earlier today to the 61 level, which is $173, shot right back up to the 38, got rejected, and now are getting ready to retest the 61 level again. Not financial advice. But if you're looking to get in a Quant on a swing trade or scalp some profits, I'd be looking at $173 and around 60 cents would be a good entry point. It bounced off here once. It was prior resistance back on Friday. We broke above it, and then we retested again on a wick, not even on a close, on a wick. So if we wick down there or we close around that area again, I would feel comfortable getting back into Quant, riding it up to the 38 level again, which would be $193. It's a nice $20 gain per coin if you are into scalping or swing trading. Now, I want to look at Cardano. Okay, a lot of things happening with Cardano. The activity is ramping up, but negative price, negative pattern here on Quant. We're looking at a descending triangle, which has already broken to the downside, and we are finding support at this 35-cent level. By the way, this is on the daily for Cardano. So going back to 2021, so beginning of 2021, this level was pretty important as we got rejected, and just bear with me for 22 seconds here. We got rejected here, right? Essentially twice. Came up, tested, got rejected. Came up, almost touched it, got rejected. Broke above, broke below, kind of mingled here a little bit, and then went on our massive rally all the way up to $3. And now we are at that current level we saw over a year and 10 months ago. So have we seen the end of this move from this triangle, right? If we measured the width of this triangle, that would say no. But if we take a look at price action and how oversold Cardano is, we're looking at sub 25 on the stochastics. Volume's been decreasing. And if we take a look, and so if you're wondering, what are some levels to look out for if we do lose the 35-cent level? And I have, I'm on Crypto Stackers Pro, by the way. I took the margin pressure level, the short level here, local high we made on September 9th, which came in right around $51. You can see we're perfectly making support on top of the 2x short level at 35 cents. If we break below, right, the next level, the margin pressure level tells us where steam runs out for the shorters is going to be 26 cents. But me personally, I'm a believer in Cardano. I think 35 cents is an absolutely amazing buy. I mean, you're talking about an easy 10x from a top 10 coin. A coin that's got longevity, it's got a great team, it's got a lot of things happening on the blockchain. Are you kind of sharing the same sentiment that I am, Robin?
Hell yeah. You already know it. Super bullish.
What
time?
excites you most about ADA? Like if you just pick one thing.
I would say Charles plus the community that Cardano has. Here is the thing. The one thing Cardano is really missing, or I don't want to say missing, but that is, if you were to compare it to the projects above it, is that institutions haven't invested as heavily into Cardano as, say, Solana, Binance.
Do you think they will, though?
Yeah, and that's where I'm getting at. I mean, they already have the community. They have the roadmap. They have the infrastructure. They have partnerships with nations. I think that, you know, and they do have some partnerships with big companies. I think they partnered with Dish Network. They also partnered with one of the mobile carriers, one of the big guys. Maybe it was T-Mobile. I don't quote me on this one, but they've partnered with some mobile powerhouses. And so I think the one thing that is to come, which seems as though it's on the path, is the institutional adoption. And I don't mean partnerships with big companies. I'm talking about the legacy investors, these big banks, these hedge funds allocating parts of their treasury assets or offering services and basically making suggestions, because that's what these hedge funds do. They're like, hey, here's some data on Bitcoin. This is where we're projecting Bitcoin to be at. This is some data on Solana. This is what we're expecting your returns to be at. That's what hedge funds do. They give you this information, and then they're like, hey, you, the user, this is what we think can bring you some good returns. And if these institutions, these custodial legacy finance players, if they get behind Cardano and they promote it, and then they put their money where their mouth is, and they invest in it themselves, that's what I think is stopping Cardano from being, number 3, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. But the beautiful part is that if they keep doing what they're doing, they stick to their roadmap, they keep making partnerships, their community keeps growing. It doesn't matter if companies don't like them. At some point, if your members, your customers, your investors, if they demand it, they're going to offer services.
They're going to have to, or else people are going to go somewhere else.
that's why I feel like it's inevitable. And so if you're in this camp where you're like, hey, they're just missing the institution, well, it's coming. Just keep doing what you're doing. Oh, man. Anyways, they partnered with Boost Mobile and and Dish Network. So now, Boost Mobile, do you use Boost Mobile? That's like the track phone, right? Yeah, I don't use Boost. Here's the thing, man. You know what's sad is that even though I know I'll probably save money using a track phone, I just can't do it. Because then, what if you're on what if you go to meet some fam, and they're like, you got a track phone? Prepaid? They're instantly judging you, bro. And I don't know why. I'm like, hey, look, man, what if I'm like, yo, my cell phone bill is half of yours? But they're still going to snicker behind your back. They're like, Big Rob, you got a prepaid phone. I'm like, what? All of a sudden, all my crypto advice out the window. I'm like, nah, that dude don't know what he's doing. He got a track phone.
Take your phone off your desk. All right. So,
and then real quick, I know I brought it up, so I just tried to find a corresponding article as well. So taking a look here, a little bit of what we were talking about. So island nation Madeira hopes to copy El Salvador's Bitcoin success. So president of Madeira, Miguel,
Albuquerque.
Anyways, he announced explicit support for, I can pronounce it in Portuguese. I just don't know how to say it.
Pronounce it in Portuguese.
Miguel Albuquerque.
Sounds Italian.
Announces explicit support for Bitcoin and the president further added that plans are in place with infrastructure to start up on January 3rd to broaden integrations with the local economy. So there's a big push there to get Bitcoin adopted in Madeira.
So then why would they introduce new taxes?
What's that?
Why would they go from being, oh, hey, come bring all your Bitcoin here, we're not going to tax you, now they want to tax you?
This is, so it's the country of Portugal is the one that's doing the taxes. So Madeira is technically Portugal, but think of it kind of like Puerto Rico in the U.S. It is, Puerto Rico is territory.
So if there's a federal tax on Bitcoin, Madeira will have
they're still gonna have to, yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that they can pivot, create their own laws, and they can be a little bit more. They can go outside the box from what Portugal is doing. So,
all I got.
Yep.
All right, let's move on. Some of the biggest news of the day: 48,000 Bitcoin withdrawn by institutions from Coinbase Pro. This is a source from You Today. That is equivalent to nearly $1 billion. The Bitcoin was taken out and delivered to institutional clients. Now, someone did mention, hey, it's fake news because Coinbase Pro is closing, but they didn't move it onto another platform. They moved it into cold storage. So they're not looking to actively trade it. Also, it's important to note, these coins were not moved for close to 5 years. I think the range was 3 to 5 years. And historically, the Bitcoin price showed a substantial rise after financial institutions entered Bitcoin. And I have a interactive chart here, my friends, that I would like to share with you. So this is Bitcoin balances on exchanges. You can see here, Coinbase Pro, over the last 24 hours, close to 40,000 Bitcoin was taken off. There's still a little over 500,000 Bitcoin on the exchange. Binance on inflow, Bitfinex on inflow. Nothing really big of note there. But if we scroll all the way down to the very bottom, 8,600 left gate. Net, 45,276 Bitcoin left the exchanges over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, that number jumps up to 54,000. And over the last 30 days, 130,000 Bitcoin has left exchanges. Robin, I mean, when Lambo?
I am always a doubter in these metrics.
You were a doubter?
I'm a doubter, bro.
Why are you a doubter?
Because, man, these numbers are never, I don't want to say never, but these numbers are often manipulated. They're often taken out of context, and they can easily be just somebody moving money around with no intention of doing anything different.
I'm just randomly going to move $1 billion off of Coinbase into my
here's the thing: if you have $1 billion, in Coinbase? First of all, maybe it's one of the Coinbase accounts. Maybe Coinbase is moving their own assets around. Maybe Coinbase is like, hey, let's not keep $1 billion of this dollars in one wallet address.
But in cold storage, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, here's the thing. Maybe they're looking at the volume. They're like, hey, we have, $300 million worth of volume in Bitcoin. We need to have, say, $1 billion of liquidity to facilitate these trades. And maybe they're sitting on $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. And so they're like, hey, let's not keep $3 billion on this exchange. Let's move $1 billion out. That's just
on
one
their
example.
Own exchange? You're talking about someone.
It doesn't. I'm not saying that they're removing it and they're putting it in a safety deposit box. I'm just saying that all they have to do is remove it and put it into another spot. And we all know, we talk about it all the time. Do not keep all your assets in one address. So why is it so hard to think that a company that's trying to mitigate risk in an environment where there is exploits and fraud at every turn of a corner, why is it so hard to think that Coinbase would diversify their own funds? Wow, how is that so hard to believe that Coinbase would take $3 billion and take $1 billion of it and be like, let's put it into a different account so that way if one gets compromised, we don't lose it all. It's just how things naturally happen. If you have one bank account that can be hacked, I'm not even talking about crypto. You have a bank account that can be hacked, and it's only insured for the FDIC minimum of $40,000 or whatever it is. I don't know how much.
FDIC?
Yeah, it was
$250,000.
Whatever. Say you have millions of dollars. Wouldn't it be smart to split it up into 3 bank accounts? Especially if you got, like, say you got a hungry ex-wife that wants to take all kinds of stuff. You're like, hey, man, I don't trust that lady. I need to split this up. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's natural process of moving giant amounts of money. The same thing could be said for somebody that is an investor. Like, hey, man, like, I want to swing trade some of my Bitcoin, whatever. I want to buy something. I want to get into an altcoin. Maybe the market's going to go down. Maybe I'll just pull it off the exchange for now because I don't feel comfortable keeping it there. All I'm just saying is that these numbers, as far as whale addresses moving around, it's such a big ecosystem. There's so many wallets. There's so many players. There's so many whale games going on that one whale wallet moving around, I don't think is some kind of grand vision prophecy of the market's going to move in one direction or another.
There's definitely manipulation.
Historically, you can point to some of these. So historically, you can see a big ass amount move, and then you can also see a sale that comes shortly thereafter from that wallet, and then you can see the price dumping. So I understand that there is a narrative, but for every narrative that you build with that same scenario, there's 10 or 20 different narratives of somebody just simply moving money around.
Well, and what I was saying is the manipulation, that's real. So these whales understand how people react to news. And so when you get alert that 50,000 Bitcoin has moved from a cold storage wallet to Coinbase, what's the first thing people expect? They're looking to sell it. Why else would you move it out of cold storage into an exchange? And so what people will do is they'll go and they'll fire sale their Bitcoin. And all the while, that person who moved that money was never planning on doing it. They're just manipulating the market, scooping up Bitcoin at a cheaper price.
There is whale. I'm not trying to pretend like whale manipulation doesn't exist, that you can't track big whale wallets and then in anticipation for the movement. But that narrative is so overblown. That's all I'm saying. That narrative is extremely overblown. People take it way out of context. And yeah, that's it, man. What you laughing at?
You know, Joe, well, I was laughing at Sean. It could have been Do Kwon withdrawing from Coinbase to help fund his little road trip.
And then Joe, hola! Welcome to City Credit.
We have seen cornucopias.
We saw it at CNFT.
Yeah, that game looked dope. It was a racing game, right?
Yeah.
That game looked dope. We wanted to talk to one of their people, but they were super busy, so we didn't get around to it. But yeah.
Also want to thank Jimmy for the
membership. Five membership, 5 gifted memberships from
Damn, Jimmy, the hype man of Sin City Crypto. Yeah, so Strictly Sports said I had to move all my assets this weekend from Coinbase Pro. Yeah, so there you go. All right, still a lot of Bitcoin moving around. But okay, take the last 24 hours away, right? Over the last 7 days, you got 130,000 that left exchanges. Take it for what you will. All right. Let's move on. Binance. Okay. This might be a little troubling. Okay. Binance is now the second largest entity by voting power in the Uniswap DAO. The source from the block. Binance delegated 13.2 million Uniswap tokens on October 18th to its own wallet. Uniswap founder Hayden Adams is concerned that Binance may use tokens that are owned by their users to participate in governance for their own reasons. Binance now has a 5.9% of the voting power behind only A16Z, which is Andreessen Horowitz. Robin, this is do you share the same sentiment that the founder of Uniswap does? Is he's worried and he thinks that Binance is using their consumers' Uniswap tokens on their platforms, put it in their own wallet to essentially have supreme voting power in the Uniswap DAO, kind of influence changes. What are your initial thoughts here?
It's a problem, right? Here's the thing. Do I trust Binance to not do anything nefarious? Yeah. I don't think Binance would do anything that would be criminal, exploit. Yes. But the fact that this happened is concerning. You remember the biggest staking wallet on Lido for the staked Ethereum? Coinbase and KuCoin, right?
On Lido?
Yeah. I think it was Coinbase and somebody else.
It's definitely Coinbase.
And so,
no, you're thinking about staked ETH.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm giving you a parallel.
Like validators.
Yeah.
With staked ETH. Yeah, Lido and Coinbase.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's Lido and it was
Yes,
yeah. So Lido and Coinbase. So what you're seeing is that Coinbase was kind of doing the same thing, right? That wasn't all their own personal staked Ethereum. That was other people's Ethereum, right?
Interesting point.
So are we going to see more of this in the future? Are you going to see that these exchanges are taking other people's assets, and using them for voting and basically pushing in agendas that they want for their own personal company's narrative? I think that is a scary thought. And maybe this is an unexpected consequence when it comes to proof of stake, right? When it comes to DAOs, is that, hey, decentralization, you have 10 million users, all have a say on voting power. They all have a decision on the direction of the company or direction of the software or the blockchain. 10 million different people have input. However, if 3 million people all keep their coins on Coinbase, now they have 1/3 of the voting power. I never really thought of that, right? That's what happened with Binance. And so,
I mean,
that's a little worrying. Now, what happens?
Is it unethical?
What happens when a big exchange does the same thing, but they want to manipulate the rules for their own gain?
That's my point, right?
Now, do I think Binance is up to no good? No, I think they're fine. But what happens if they're not fine? What happens if they want to take advantage of the system? It's there. If Binance wanted to, the scary thing is as much as everybody uses Uniswap, if Binance wanted to, they could fundamentally change it. Uniswap, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes. And that is what worries me. And it's funny, Uniswap is not even their DEX.
It's supposed to be decentralized.
Uniswap's not even their DEX.
That's what I'm saying.
So, your DEX is PancakeSwap.
Yeah. Whoa. Now you're onto something. So their DEX is PancakeSwap. Number one competitor PancakeSwap is, what do you do to competition when you're a company trying to get yours bigger? You squash the competition.
Depends on
right?
who you are.
I'm just saying, if you're a gas station and that gas station across the street is offering lower gas at a cheaper price,
You got to burn
taking
the
your
gas station
business
down? Is that what you're saying?
and then you see that gas leaking out of the parking lot, and you got that matches, so you're like,
We're going to get canceled.
I'm not saying everybody will do it, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of business owners. I'd be like, well, they're just out there like trying to pretend like nothing's going on. They're holding up a magnifying glass, like, to the sun, trying to do that little ray thing.
So how do you stop it? Okay.
You ever burn ants back in the day?
No. So what should these DAOs do? Should they have like tiered limits to where once you hit over a certain amount of tokens, your voting power starts going down?
Or maybe they just take the top 100 exchanges, you get no vote.
Okay. I mean, there's ways around that too, though, right?
I'm sure there is, but if they're working, remember, Binance already works with Uniswap. They list the Uni token. So at some point they're in communications, there's some transparency. And then when you get a token listed on an exchange, the project oftentimes will offer tokens for liquidity. So let's just say you go to list Uniswap on Binance, which is already there, but I'm just saying, let's just go back in time. You could say, hey, we'll give you 500 billion of our tokens for liquidity for you to hold. And in doing so, you let me know where you're keeping these wallet addresses, and all those wallet addresses, you can't vote. All your Uniswap, your customers Uniswap, all of those, no votes. So I don't know. I don't really have an answer. That's just my first thought.
I think this should be tiered some way to essentially, once you hit a certain level, because an exchange should not have that much voting power over another platform that's not even part of their ecosystem. So I think a lot of bad can come from that. All right. This next piece of news is quite interesting.
Oh, real quick, before we get into that, I do want to show you here. Yeah, this was the cornucopia.
We got video of it.
Yeah, so this was at the CNFT. So at this one, I took a couple videos.
It looked pretty good.
That one. Yeah, this is another one. So yeah,
Looks like an actual game you play on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, a little insight on the game. I know we were kind of brought it up briefly. So,
all right, Korea. Koreans to have access to blockchain-based digital IDs. This is sourced from Cointelegraph. South Korea to allow its citizens to use digital IDs instead of the physical cards as soon as 2024. These digital IDs will be embedded as an app within mobile devices, which they're saying is going to be privacy protected. These digital IDs could be used in finance, healthcare, taxes, and transportation, and also help businesses fully transition online, the ones that are not fully online. We talk about this all the time. NFTs are much, much, much more than just JPEG pictures, monkey pictures, whatever's people iteration and narrative of NFTs are. This is the true power of NFTs, is what you're seeing in Korea, what you're going to be seeing in places like Africa. People being able to buy homes through tokenization NFTs of real estate. People being able to start investing in things because of fractionalized NFTs and tokenizing things via NFTs. So, Rob, I know we were talking about, you kind of were telling me before the show you had, some things to say about this.
Man, I started looking at, well, first of all, Korea is extremely progressive when it comes to the adoption of technology.
Yes.
And they are a little bit more receptive to blockchain and its capabilities and infrastructure that can be laid out that can help with identification. Particularly in June of this year, South Korea launched, and we briefly discussed this before, but they launched a driver's license that is on the blockchain. And so right now, hear this, right now in Korea, you can get your driver's license on your cell phone in the form of NFT. You can buy alcohol, you can use it as a form of identification. So instead of when you go to the gas station and you go to buy some beer, you don't need to pull out your wallet. You just literally tap your phone, boom. identification verified, age verified. Also, you can tie in your insurance. So no longer do you need to call DMV, have them, or I don't know exactly what their system was before, but I'm just kind of applying this premise to the US. But one of the features that they have with their driver's license is that you can add your insurance to, or link it to the same NFT blockchain identification that you have for your driver's license. This is what I've been talking about, is have this seamless integration. Why the hell do I got to go to the post office to get a passport, and I got to bring a bill from the water company, and then I got to go bring my ID from DMV, and then I got to go bring a marriage certificate from the court? Like, this is all the same government. It's the same local municipality. Municipality. That's right. Municipality.
Municipality.
Multiplicity.
Municipality.
Municipal brutality.
That's awesome.
So, anyways, I knew saying that word. When I started saying it, I was like, this ain't gonna go good.
I love it.
This is gonna crash and
This is
burn.
gonna be a nice short.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. Why the hell isn't there one system that has all this information? Right? We are in a digital age. Like, why can I log into every single...
Matter of fact,
Like, I can log into any account across the internet. I can log into multiple accounts, all using my Facebook login. You know when you go somewhere, it's like log in with Facebook.
Yeah, but you can't go to your like primary doctor and then they send you have to fill out paperwork. Then they send you to a specialist, you have to fill out paperwork. Then they send you to the hospital, you got to fill out paperwork.
Like, why do I got to go to DMV and then to the post office and then to the courthouse, and then they're all the same government? Like, why is the information not somewhat intermingled? Why can't you just pull up the records from DMV? Why I gotta go somewhere with my driving record? And so anyways, if you just have one identification that can't be manipulated, that lives on the internet, that is immutable, that anybody could pull up via permission, why not use that? And so you've already made the first step, the biggest part of identification, right? When someone asks for your ID, what does everybody pull out of their wallet? Their driver's license. That's what I'm saying. They pull out their driver's license. That's already there. And so now they're taking it to the next step. So right now in Korea, in South Korea, you have your driver's license and you have your insurance all tied together. That's your identification. Now they're expanding on it. They're bringing it to everything. They're bringing it to your finance. Now it's everywhere. You know what I mean? This is the technology that you're seeing there. It's coming here. It's coming. And you watching this, you're early, you're in the right space. You identify that this is going to replace stuff. And if I was to say, hey, your newspaper is going to get replaced, here's some options. You have Bloomberg. Never heard of them? Cool. Well, they're an internet-based news agency. Might do away with a lot of those newspapers. Hey, you're gonna start downloading your entertainment instead of going to the store. Your Blockbuster, you're not going to need that anymore. Here's a couple competitors. You have Netflix. That's what I'm saying. Right now, we're like, hey, digital identifications are stored on blockchains. They are fundamentally better than your stupid paper copies. You go to the DMV, you get a piece of paper that says temporary identification. It's printed on paper. This is your temporary identification, so your other one comes in the mail that can be stolen at any point in time. Why not just do this digitally? We all realize that is fundamentally a better product. And so now you can look at projects like Cardano that already do this. They already do this. So if you know the technology is coming to replace the old stuff, all you got to do is just look at the list of projects. They do that, they do that, they do that, they do that. Invest in all 5. Boom, one of them's going to explode. You're going to be rich.
Promise?
Not financial advice.
No promises.
That was not a promise.
Not a promise.
Yeah.
I promise with non-financial advice. It's more like intuition into the markets. How about that?
You and your think you have intuition, but you really don't. All right. I don't have much else to add to that. Pretty straightforward, but those are pretty good points you brought up, Robin. Now, staying on NFTs, but moving ever so slightly into the hotel industry, NFT hotel bookings that can be resold if you can't make it. The source from Be In Crypto. Marco, pay attention. The Italian company, Tacchioni. Is that how you pronounce it?
That sounds very Italian. Tachyon, yes.
Tacchion.
Tachyon.
The Italian company Tachyon have new NFTs to represent bookings. The mechanism will be based on the so-called resellable rates, which allows the guest to sell it and transfer it in case they cannot use a reservation. Now, being an NFT, it can be transferred in a secure and verifiable way to any user anywhere in the world. They create a resale rate when you do the NFTs, which costs 20% less on average than if you were to just book it like you normally do. Here's another example. Is this a good utility for NFTs, Robin?
Hell yeah. So very, very similar to what I think the ticketing sector is going to look like when it comes to blockchain and NFTs. So if I have royalties to the Raiders, how you doing? We had a bye week, well deserved, by the way.
Yeah, well deserved. You've won so many games, you need a day off.
You know, we almost beat those damn
Leave
Chiefs.
some wins for the rest of us.
almost beat those damn Chiefs. Might have a Chiefs fan in the house, by the way.
Hey, I can't talk. The
so,
freaking Packers lost to the Jets.
So, anyways, if I have season tickets and I want to sell my tickets, why the hell why does StubHub and what's all this other, anyways, all those other ticketing sites, Ticketmaster, all of it, they take so much off the top and you don't get nothing. All you get is your face. I sell it for $100 and then they turn around and sell it for $180. All right, NFL ticket is going to be more like I sell it for $400 and then they end up charging $680. But here's the thing, you price out so many people. I would like to charge $600 for my ticket, and instead I know that the final consumer is only going to pay $680 for that ticket.
Let me ask you this question.
And I got to sell it for $400 because I got to expect the fees to come on top. And so I know this guy's going to buy it for $680, so I got to sell it for $400 instead of me selling it for $600. And if I retain ownership, if I go and I get my seat license, I literally got to pay $40,000 for my seat license to get the opportunity to buy my seats.
And that's not even the price of the games.
That's for the seat license. So I buy the rights to buy the tickets, and then I buy the tickets, and then you're going to charge me. You're going to charge the consumer like 15 to 20% markup on the ticket for them to buy it, which, yes, I'm still selling it for my listed price, but let's be realistic. I should be selling it for $600, but I got to sell it for $400 because you're cutting the price off the top.
I got a business idea.
What's up?
So Vegas, right? There's certain weekends where hotel rooms are very expensive due to certain conventions, certain people coming in town. What if let's say one of these Vegas casinos, the Vegas starts doing these NFT hotel rooms. We start buying these rooms, the good ones. And then once those convention times come around and everything's booked up and overpriced, we flip them for triple the price. What do you say?
I mean, that's the kind of the premise is that you are, but you know, at the same time, you can also lose money. You could have price room rates drop. They do that very often here in Vegas. They sell the rooms out for expensive because people are making plans for the trips, and then they realize 80% occupancy for the hotel. They need to fill it up. They'll drop the room rate, and then boom, they'll fill the rest of the hotel at a cheaper price. So it's not that easy. But here's the thing. This isn't the hotels that are doing it. It's more like, so I was kind of reading an article, and so you can go, you have an agency that has hotel rooms and different, so think of like your hotels.com. So hotels.com, they buy a bunch of rooms and then they sell them to other people. So here, instead of them selling it to other people, you can just sell it to other people yourself.
Correct.
And so you're using kind of their platform. So it's their own little like marketplace. And so, anyways, taking a look here, I got some examples. So these are some of the rooms they have. Rocco.
Yes, sir.
These are all Italian hotels here.
Beautiful.
Venezia.
Have you stayed at any of these hotels, Rocco?
Not exactly in this one.
Okay, if you had to choose one, would you go with this
Monteregione?
Monteregione, because this is like a little castle
looks
here,
pretty
man.
dope.
I feel like they got dirty toilets. Though.
Hold on. So these are the current hotels that have the NFTs?
This was the example that they used from their website. You got a couple of Venezias. How do you pronounce it?
Venezia.
Venezia. Then you got some Roma. And then,
How do you pronounce that one, Rocco?
Varenna,
No,
Lago di Como,
Monteria.
so
Monteriggioni.
Monteriggioni.
now, if you had to pick one, I mean, are you going to go with the most expensive, which would be this
I'm
970?
bougie, bro. I go expensive.
I
Well,
mean,
it depends on the location. I mean, probably I like Venice because you can walk everywhere and there are no cars.
Rocco,
so-
will you take us to Italy?
Yeah, of course.
so which one are you going with, Rocco?
Well, we ride mopeds.
you going with
probably, yeah.
number 1, 2, 3?
Probably I
four,
will
five?
go with number 2.
Number 2? Oh.
And it's,
Yeah.
Of course, you would pick the most expensive one.
well, he's the Don. So.
no, I didn't even check the price, really.
What about the Don Fanucci?
$970 a night. So
It's euros.
back to with the euro and the dollar are pretty
Much there.
okay. They're pretty close to each
Fair
other.
enough, fair
Now,
enough.
no, it's pretty cool idea. So just to expand, so if I want to sell my sporting ticket because I can't make it, I can just go and sell it, and nobody else is taking a cut. Why not do the same thing with the hotels? Why do I got to cancel and pay a fee, and then you turn around and sell it for a higher rate? Right? That's robbery, man. Like, you know what? I booked the room. That's my spot. If I want to turn around and sell it, cool. If it's now the rate for it is $800, then cool. Or maybe it drops, but you know what? Hey, I can get 80% of my value. It's a little cheaper now, but I'm not going to make it. And so let me just sell it and take my money back, or at least 80% of it. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's going to happen with a lot of things. And
Oh yeah, brother.
yeah,
All right, I think we're done.
we're done. You don't want to talk about that the Asia, the digital yuan? A lot to say about that one.
This one, China.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
No, not China. It was the digital,
Asia wide, yeah, right.
the Asian wide digital yuan.
All right, fake out. We're not done. China introduces.
I was researching this, and I was like, I found this extremely fascinating.
China introduces new currency. Bye bye to the United States dollar. It's a source from Cointelegraph. Now, China has floated the idea of an Asia-wide digital currency with the aim of reducing its reliance on a U.S. dollar-based economy. This will use distributed ledger technology, which would form the backing of the Asian token, which will be pegged to a bundle of 13 currencies, including China's yuan, Japan's yen, and South Korea's won. Before you take over this conversation, I am shocked if this happens and the Japanese yen and South Korea won, if they agree to be part of this, because obviously Japan and South Korea are considered very staunch United States allies. And obviously, this is a direct threat, a direct attack on the US dollar as world reserve currency. We see the whole BRICS thing where it's these countries like India, Russia, Iran, and North Korea and China. They're kind of creating their own currency that's backed by precious metals and other national currencies versus the dollar.
Dude, U.S. did
I'd be
this.
surprised.
U.S. made this happen, bro. Our failures when it comes to our monetary system, our printing, the nudging other countries into recession because their currencies are debasing against the dollar, and you got to use the dollar to buy everything. So you want to buy a barrel of oil? Hey, you know what? You can buy less oil because the dollar's up, your currencies are down.
Robin, before you move on, that right there is key. If the US dollar is not the most predominant currency used to purchase and sell oil, we are in trouble. The United States economy will be in big trouble.
Well, here's the thing. If you're, I'm not familiar with the markets in Asia, so I'll just use a general commodity. You can take rice, for example. And so if rice is priced in dollars and countries are able to buy less of it when trading between borders with themselves, then it's not advantageous to use a dollar. Like, why are you using the dollar? Right? Or if Singapore is buying oil from China, why do they got to pay it in dollars? Right? So that's thought number one. Number two, the reason we're even here also is, in my opinion, the weaponization of the financial system that is the world reserve currency. and being able to bully people via sanctions. And so other countries, particularly China, are well aware that if they were to invade another country, say Taiwan, that sanctions would come down. And now anybody that has their economy tied into the dollar is probably like, hey, what is the likelihood that we go to war with someone else and we upset the US and they drop sanctions and they try to cripple our monetary system? It's obviously not a good idea to be 100% in on the US and their monetary system if you do something nationally that disagrees with the US. Let's just say China decides to do some kind of nuclear, they're a nuclear power. Let's say they try to do some nuclear tests that upset the globe. You understand that they're probably going to get sanctioned, right? The same thing could be said for any country. Let's just say that, it's a country, let's say it's Afghanistan.
Well, that's why, look, when I was younger, okay.
And so this whole hey, we're going to sanction you and mess up your money system as a threat if you don't line up with our view here in the U.S., that threat alone is enough to boot people off of your system, because it's not, if you're looking at it in a chance percentage, like, hey, what are the chances in the next 30 years we piss off the U.S. as a nation? And if you feel like that chance is at all realistic, even if it's 10%, wouldn't you think it's a smart idea at this point to maybe hedge your bet and
like
put
I
in
said,
infrastructure
bro, adoption. Who is willing to take these new currencies and not the dollar? That's the biggest
And then
thing.
the scary thing is with China, they have the strongest economy, so they would probably be the
We have the
reserve.
strongest
No,
economy.
I'm saying in this little ecosystem. So out of the 13 Asian countries that are going to peg their currency to a digital yuan, it's going to be pretty much reserved by China. And so we've talked about it before that the world reserve currency is probably, historically, put it this way, has been replaced. You had
British pound.
the British pound. Before that was it the Dutch before that. And so time after time, history has shown that with the failures of monetary system, which we are messing up right now, with the failures of monetary system, people get upset, nations get upset, things pivot, people move, and they go to different options. And you know what? Right now, it looks like China is gearing up to have their own currency in their own little area. Next thing you know, it's Asian countries, then it's Middle Eastern countries. Australia might join in the party, and then next thing you know, hey, U.S. Formerly known as the world reserve currency.
That would cripple the entire economy. You guys understand that, right? America would go bankrupt.
But, it's something like that would probably
Preclude a war.
Yeah, I was going to
would be a
say
war.
that would be, if it was something like that, it would probably,
That would
you're
literally
going to have
collapse the
one,
entire economy.
yeah, you're going to have one big event that kind of forces people to go into to take those actions expedited, so.
Interesting topic conversation.
It's a very interesting topic, really. If you go back in history and look into what changed after World War II and monetary policy, you will find there is a lot of similar scenario that we live in today.
Yeah.
Fashion and everything else. So,
I mean, that's why people study history.
yeah, that's beautiful.
Right?
If you want to
Yeah,
check
people
it
study
out,
history.
it's fascinating. Yeah.
Hey, man, this is a cycle, man.
Yes.
The market's go in cycles.
Usually there are 100
monetary
years
system,
cycle,
countries,
200,
dominance, they all go in cycles. And
I mean,
so,
look when the freaking pandemic came 100 years after the Spanish flu.
yeah, I'm telling you, man, AT&T, they controlled communications back in the day before cell phones. You wanted to make a call internationally, you had to pay, it was like, what was it, like $3 a minute or something
It
crazy
was
like that?
Pacific Bell, right?
Yeah, Pacific Bell and AT&T. Yeah, it was Pacific Bell,
Yeah, it
and
was
then they had a
Pacific Bell.
merger with AT&T. And so anyways, people always thought they'll never get knocked off the block. Now, AT&T is Pacific Bell is gone.
Because their
AT&T
customer service sucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that if you think that you're at the top and things will never change, sadly mistaken. I had a tweet about that yesterday. I'm like, hey, you guys here, Bitcoin maxis, you think you're going to be at the top for all of eternity, and you think that you're not going to change your software? You know what? Software evolves, changes, adapts, and people innovate and they build. And be careful when people get behind a mission or an idea, because they will build some amazing crap. And yeah, if you're still over here using up half the world's energy, let me pump the brakes here before a bunch of people mad at me. But if you're using a lot of energy
There you
to secure a network when it could be done a lot easier, yeah. Everyone's like, what? Comment. They're like,
What?
no. If you're using, here's the thing.
Singular wireless. I remember.
Bitcoin's amazing. It's king of the crowd, man. Right now, you know, ain't nobody knocking off Bitcoin anytime soon. But I'll tell you what, man. If they don't change, they don't evolve. Software history has shown that emerging technologies that do it better, faster, and cheaper will replace the old stuff.
You know, Robin, you brought up rice earlier, right?
Yes, I did.
Well, guess what? There is another type of rice that is joining us live in studio tomorrow. Chris Rice from Rice TVX will be here in Las Vegas in studio to join us for our live show tomorrow. And then the following day, we have none other than the Blood. Crypto Blood will be joining us in studio also on Friday. And maybe a special guest will be joining him as well. We'll leave that kind of we'll leave that one just kind of more general, not really.
And then I'll leave you with this, David. One final question. As Crypto Billy says, would you rather fight two 50-foot tall chickens or 52-foot tall chickens?
Wow.
I'll fight the chicken and I'll eat it all.
What would you do?
Take the 50.
I'll take 52 tall chickens.
Yeah.
I'll take the 2-foot tall chickens.
Yeah.
Rocco, what about you?
I'll take the 2 chicken and I'll take the 2 of you.
Give me a bow and arrow and two
What about you?
50-foot
Taking
chickens.
50 or you taking
Boy,
2?
gonna come home a hero.
All right.
Come home to the wife. Be like, I got dinner. Look at these big old turkeys.
That reminds me of the Family Guy when he always fights that big ass chicken. So, all right, that'll do it for the show today. Make sure to check out all of our social medias: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Also, join our community ran Discord. Also, go buy some merch. Also, become a member of the channel. Support the channel. Also, what am I missing?
Yeah, check the videos, stream interview.
Check the videos. Also,
Shorts.
the shorts. Also,
Oh, there's Crypto Blood too.
what's up, CB? That's right. Crypto Blood will be in our studio Friday. Will he take his shirt off?
No.
Who knows?
Everybody with the shirt off.
In case you're wondering why we said
Listen,
that.
CB. Last time we had guests in studio. Well, Keeper and Mind Your Biz were in studio. They both took their shirts off. I don't know what the hell's going on. And then someone else was here. Lifer was getting ready to take his shirt off. And so I guess it's a thing. People sit in this chair and they want to take their
There's
shirt
no
off.
pool here. We are in Vegas,
Yes.
and I understand that there's a lot of pools in Vegas, but there's no pool in our studio.
Yeah, so Crypto Blood, make sure if you do
one.
plan on taking your shirt off, yeah, gets a little colder. You're going to be sitting. So, all right, Rocco.
Yeah, let's do it.
Friends, family, friends of family, and family of friends. We thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday here at Sincere Crypto Live. On behalf of myself, Big Rob, that Don. We love you guys. We will see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, peace.
The question is, you gonna take your shirt off, Dave?
Me? Nah, I haven't worked out in a while. You don't want to take Robin's shirt off because dude got pepperoni nipples.
You got barbecue sauce nipples, bro. You remember those school pizzas with the little square chopped up
Those are
pepperoni?
bomb, bro.
Those things are disgusting.
I know, I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. See you guys tomorrow. People do be stripping in Vegas. This is true. Crypto Billy, thank you. Pet Brett, thank you. Audi 5000. David Bumblebee says he'll take two 50-foot chickens. I don't know, man. Those things are kind of scary. I'd rather just like take the 50 small ones and just like do like a Karate Kid movie thing where you're just like spinning. Anyways, all right.
You ever saw Three Ninjas? Remember that movie?
Three Ninjas now.
Oh, like Chris Farley?
Three Ninjas? You mean Beverly Hills
man.
Ninjas?
Three amigos?
No, is it? Yeah, Beverly Hills Ninjas.
Beverly Hills
but no,
Ninjas.
but there's like three ninjas.
Okay, Beverly Hills Ninjas, of course.
Yeah, that was Chris Farley. But there was three ninjas, man.
Man, what a good actor he was. Poor guy.
Yeah, too soon, bro.
You know why he passed away?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go film our afternoon video. Love you guys. Peace.